So what's Schizoid Personality Disorder, or SPD for short? It's an uncommon psychological condition that reduces a person's ability or motivation to interact, socialize, or form intimate relationships with other people. There's three main types of diagnostic criteria: the DSM-5, or Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, the ICD-10, the International Classification of Diseases, and Guntrip Criteria, which comes from the psychoanalytical object-relation theory perspective, and whereas the first two are more like checklists to see the manifestations and traits that person is displaying, with Guntrip it takes a deeper look at the underlying causes behind the SPD. So in the DSM-5, they put SPD in the cluster A of personality disorders, which is odd or eccentric thinking or behaviour. So along with SPD, there is schizotypal and paranoid personality disorder. The definition from the DSM-5 of SPD is a pervasive pattern of detachment from and general disinterest in social relationships, a limited range of emotions in interpersonal relationships beginning by early adulthood. So to be diagnosed, you must experience 4 from the following list. So there's no desire for or enjoyment of close relationships, including those with family members, a strong preference for solitary activities, little if any interest in sexual activity with another person, enjoyment of few if any activities, lack of close friends or confidants other than first-degree relatives, an apparent indifference to the praise or criticism of others, emotional coldness, detachment, or flattened affect. So, as far as the DSM-5 goes, in my opinion, it gives a good basic outline of what schizoid personality disorder is, but there are many people with SPD, including myself, who think that not all of the items in the criteria are an accurate representation of people with schizoid personality disorder. So there are many aspects to the disorder that aren't really reflected or taken into account, so I'll highlight which ones I mean. So no desire for or enjoyment of close relationships. It's been found that, in fact, many schizoids deep down do have some form of desire for relationships. However, there's different reasons like why they might not pursue or act on that, mainly because of the schizoid condition itself. But it's not true that every schizoid has absolutely no desire to be in a relationship. And then also on the list is lacks close friends or confidence other than first-degree relatives. Again, there are some schizoids that are married or in a relationship with one person, so they can have a long-term relationship or short relationship with one person, but they tend to have a relationship which is one person at a time. So there are schizoids who have no relationships, but some schizoids are capable of having some form of relationship with someone other than their first-degree relatives. Anything else in the list? Yeah, so basically that's my take on the DSM-5. Oh yeah, also that many schizoids, if they see this list, what they may not see in themselves is that many schizoids can be quite sensitive, and this is the reason why they've put up a lot of walls towards interpersonal relationships, because of the sensitivity to the energies of other people. It can be quite draining to interact with people for this reason. So there's a lot more depth and complexity to the condition than what is really reflected here in the DSM-5. When I go through the ICD-10 criteria and the Guntrip criteria, you will see that it draws on different aspects of the disorder. So I wouldn't recommend to anybody to try to diagnose themselves just from this list here, but I'm just highlighting to you this is the DSM-5 list and how they diagnose SPD.